All right, let's step back in time to World War II.
Okay.
We're going to be diving into Kristin Hannah's The Nightingale.
All right.
It's a historical novel telling the story of two sisters in Nazi-occupied France, Vianne and Isabelle.
Yeah.
And they each have very contrasting experiences during the war.
Absolutely.
And it's so fascinating to see how their lives play out during these really extraordinary circumstances.
Yeah, and right away we see how different their personalities are, how they clash when the war comes knocking.
Yep.
Vianne, the older sister, she's a young mother.
Mm-hmm.
Her priority is keeping her daughter Sophie safe.
Of course.
Any mother would feel the same way.
Right.
That instinct to protect her family.
Yeah.
It drives so many of her decisions.
Yeah.
Even when a German officer is billeted in her home, instead of, being openly defiant,
Right.
she chooses to accommodate.
It's a tough situation.
It is.
Her husband, Antoine, is away fighting on the front lines.
Right.
So she's navigating this terrifying new reality alone.
Yes.
And she's not just passively accepting things.
No.
She's taking small steps toward resistance.
Right.
Sharing extra food with her Jewish neighbor, Rachel, for example.
Yes.
Little acts of kindness.
That's it.
But still challenging the oppressive rules in her own way.
Right.
A theme that echoes throughout the story.
Absolutely.
Ordinary people making extraordinary choices.
Yeah. In the face of evil.
And her younger sister, Isabelle, she's completely different.
Oh, yeah.
Impulsive, passionate,
Yeah.
driven by this fierce desire to fight back.
That's it.
Remember when their father tried to send her away from Paris?
Oh, yeah.
For safety?
Yeah.
Flat out refused.
Refused.
She even finds inspiration in historical figures.
Like,
Edith Cavell,
oh, wow.
the British nurse executed in World War I
Oh, right. Yes.
by the Germans for helping Allied soldiers escape.
Yeah, her execution sparked outrage.
Yes.
It became a symbol of German brutality.
Right? And fueled by this parallel, Isabelle joins the resistance.
Of course.
Dives right into risky acts of sabotage.
Like,
Cutting phone lines, things like that.
but that's just the start.
Oh, yeah.
She eventually becomes involved in something much bigger.
What's that?
Smuggling downed Allied airmen across the Pyrenees Mountains.
Wow, across the Pyrenees.
Yeah, into Spain.
That's dangerous.
Incredibly dangerous.
Wow.
Treacherous terrain, constant patrols.
Talk about bravery.
It takes a toll on her.
Right, of course.
Both physically and emotionally. You see her harden,
Right.
become more resourceful, more guarded.
Yeah. What gave her the strength?
I think it's that unwavering belief in the cause.
Right.
It can be a powerful force.
Yeah.
Now, while Isabelle is engaged in this very active resistance, Vianne's is quieter.
Yeah.
Almost invisible,
Okay.
but still incredibly impactful.
Yeah.
She risks everything to hide Jewish children,
Yeah.
including Rachel's son, Ari,
Mm.
in her own home.
And we have to remember the context here.
Yes.
The Nazi regime was systematically rounding up Jews.
Yes.
Deporting them.
Sending them to concentration camps.
It's horrific.
It is.
So by hiding Ari, Vianne is directly challenging that.
She's staring evil in the face.
Yeah.
Choosing compassion,
Right.
humanity.
But those choices come at a cost.
They do.
Remember when she gives Captain Beck,
Yes.
the German officer billeted in her house,
Yeah.
a list of Jewish teachers from her school?
I see your point, but how did you feel about that decision?
I felt conflicted about it.
Yeah.
It raises so many questions about survival
Right.
versus moral compromise.
Yeah.
She's trying to protect her daughter,
Yes.
but at what cost?
It's a powerful illustration of the moral dilemmas people face.
Right.
There are no easy answers.
No.
And this decision haunts Vianne.
Yeah.
The guilt, the fear,
Yeah.
the potential consequences.
And it creates a huge rift between the sisters.
It does.
Because Isabelle, who's fighting on the front lines,
Right.
sees it as collaboration.
Yeah.
Their contrasting views on how to survive, how to resist,
Yeah.
really drives a wedge between them.
And their relationship is already strained.
Right.
Their father's past trauma from the Great War,
Yeah.
his emotional distance, his struggles with alcohol,
Yeah.
it casts a long shadow over both of them.
It does.
Highlighting the lasting wounds of war,
Yeah.
the unseen scars that shape families.
For generations.
Yes,
It's a reminder that war's impact goes far beyond the battlefield.
absolutely.
This family dynamic just adds another layer of complexity to the story.
It does.
So we've got these two sisters
Yeah.
navigating a world turned upside down by war, both trying to survive,
Right.
but their methods are so different.
Yeah. Vianne is all about protecting her family. even if it means making difficult compromises. And Isabelle,
Yeah.
she's driven by this fiery passion
Right.
to actively fight back. And then you have their father's trauma
Yeah.
shaping their responses.
To this new conflict.
Exactly.
And Kristin Hannah paints such a vivid picture of life under Nazi occupation.
Yeah, think about the descriptions of curfews.
Yes.
Rationing.
Yeah.
The constant presence of German soldiers.
It was a suffocating existence.
It was.
Where every action, every word could have consequences.
Absolutely.
She really captures that atmosphere of tension and uncertainty.
Yes.
But even in this oppressive environment, small acts of resistance emerge.
Right.
Even from those not actively involved in the organized resistance.
What's an important point?
Sharing extra food.
Yes.
Hiding forbidden books. Spreading whispers of hope.
It might seem insignificant.
Right.
But these acts were vital to maintaining a sense of community.
Right.
Defiance. Humanity. In the face of oppression.
And as we wrap up this section of the book, Vianne discovers Isabelle's involvement with the resistance.
Oh, wow.
Remember her reaction when she finds Isabelle's secret hiding place in the barn?
It was a mix of fear and amazement.
Yeah.
She's always seen Isabelle as reckless.
Yeah.
But now she has to acknowledge her courage.
Right.
Her dedication.
It's a turning point in their relationship.
It is.
Vianne starts to understand the depths of Isabelle's commitment.
Yeah.
The risks she's taking.
Absolutely.
And that understanding grows as Vianne herself becomes more involved.
Right.
Remember, she uses her position as a school teacher to gather information, pass messages.
Yeah.
It's the power of shared purpose.
It is.
Despite their differences.
Yeah.
They're united in their fight
against oppression.
Exactly.
And that shared purpose leads them to make incredible sacrifices.
Yeah, remember how Vianne sells her mother's pearls?
Oh, yeah.
To buy food for the children she's hiding?
Yeah, and Isabelle risking capture and torture.
Every time she crosses the Pyrenees.
They both put their lives on the line.
For something greater than themselves.
Yes.
And those sacrifices made even more poignant by the constant threat of danger.
Yes.
Curfews, rationing.
Yeah.
The ever-present German soldiers.
It's a struggle for survival.
Every day.
It makes you wonder, could you maintain your humanity in the face of such brutality?
Will you risk your own life
to help others?
Those are heavy questions.
They are.
Yeah, they are. But they're at the heart of what makes the Nightingale so powerful.
It really does.
It challenges us to confront these complexities of war, but also the incredible resilience
of the human spirit.
Yeah, and in the midst of all this chaos and hardship, a truly shocking event occurs.
What's that?
Rachel and her children are caught trying to flee to Switzerland.
Oh, gosh.
That scene at the train station is absolutely gut-wrenching.
I can imagine.
Vianne witnesses this brutal separation of families, the terror in people's eyes.
It's a stark reminder of the horrific consequences of the Nazi regime.
It is.
The casual cruelty inflicted upon those deemed undesirable.
Yeah. And for Vianne, this experience just solidifies her commitment to the resistance.
No matter the cost.
Right.
She realizes staying silent is no longer an option.
She's facing her own internal battle, isn't she?
Yes.
That desire to protect her family.
Yeah.
Versus this growing sense of responsibility to fight back.
Exactly.
To do what's right, even if it means putting herself in danger.
And it's further complicated by her relationship with Captain Beck.
Yes.
Up until this point, he's provided a sense of normalcy.
Right.
Even maybe a flicker of affection.
Yeah.
The brutality of those deportations makes it impossible for her to ignore the reality of what he represents.
That scene where they confront each other?
Oh, yeah.
After Rachel's deportation? It's so intense.
It is.
Beck is furious. Yeah. But his anger is directed at Vianne.
Right.
For not hiding Rachel.
Wow.
He blames her for not doing more.
Wow.
It's a clash of perspectives.
Yeah.
Highlighting that moral gulf that separates them.
He's blinded by his loyalty.
To the regime.
Yeah, unable to see the moral implications.
Of his actions.
Yeah.
But for Vianne, it's a harsh awakening.
It is.
A reminder that even those trying to be decent within a corrupt system are ultimately complicit.
Yes.
And her defiance has consequences.
What happens?
Beck disappears.
Oh, wow.
Leaving Vianne to face the escalating dangers.
Oh, gosh.
of her involvement with the resistance.
Yeah, and to wonder about his fate.
The tension really ratchets up from this point on.
It does.
Remember when Isabelle seeks refuge?
Oh, yeah.
At Vianne's house?
Yeah.
After a near-fatal mission?
Yes.
That scene in the barn is so full of conflict.
It is.
Vianne, now responsible for not only Sophie, but also Rachel's son, Ari, is terrified of Isabelle's recklessness.
Understandably.
She fears that Isabelle will attract unwanted attention.
Right.
Jeopardizing their safety.
She's torn.
Yeah.
Between her love for her sister.
Yeah.
And her duty to protect those children.
It's a heartbreaking dilemma.
It is.
Choosing between family loyalty and the greater good.
And her choice is devastating. She turns Isabelle away.
Yeah.
Forbids her from returning.
A gut-wrenching decision.
It is, but it highlights these impossible choices that people were forced to make.
During wartime.
Sometimes survival meant pushing away those you love.
It's true.
And this decision has a ripple effect.
On both sisters.
Isabelle feels betrayed.
Right.
Alone.
Yeah.
Forced to rely on the resistance.
For survival.
Yes. But for Vianne, it fuels her determination.
To fight back.
To make her own sacrifices.
For the cause that Isabelle is dedicated to. It's like she's stepping into her sister's shoes.
Yes.
Finding her own path to resistance.
And that path leads her deeper into danger.
Yeah.
She becomes more involved in the resistance network.
Right.
Using her position as a teacher to smuggle messages, gather information.
Right.
Even help down airmen escape.
She's no longer just trying to protect her family.
No.
She's actively fighting back.
Against the Nazi regime.
Risking everything to contribute to the larger effort.
To liberate France.
And those risks have consequences.
They do.
Remember when the Gestapo raids her house?
Oh, gosh.
Searching for evidence?
Of her resistance activities?
It's a terrifying scene.
It is.
She manages to hide Ari just in time. So she's interrogated, threatened, left to face the horrifying possibility.
Of what?
Of being separated from her daughter.
It's the constant fear and danger.
Yeah.
Of life under occupation.
That near capture is a turning point for her.
It is.
It pushes her to make an even bolder decision.
What's that?
She adopts Ari.
Wow.
Officially claiming him as her own.
To protect
him from further persecution.
It's a risky move.
It is.
But it showcases her commitment to saving this child.
Yeah. Her willingness to risk everything.
Why, his safety.
It's a testament to the power of compassion and defiance.
In the face of unimaginable cruelty.
And she doesn't stop there.
Yeah.
She continues to provide shelter and support
to other Jewish children,
creating a haven within her home,
defying the Nazi regime.
Yeah.
And as the war rages on, so does the danger.
And then Vianne receives news
about
Captain Beck.
What happens?
He's dead.
It's a complex moment.
It is.
On one hand, relief.
Right.
That he can no longer threaten her family.
Yeah.
But also sadness.
Yeah.
Recognizing the humanity he tried to maintain.
Within a brutal system.
It's a reminder that war rarely offers simple resolutions.
It's true.
Even those who oppose the regime can become casualties.
Yeah.
Their lives extinguished by the violence.
And as the war intensifies, the resistance network faces constant threats.
Betrayals.
Arrests. Even Isabelle, with all her courage and skill, is not immune to danger.
Her capture by the Gestapo is a turning point in her story.
Is.
A descent into unimaginable darkness.
She's thoroughly interrogated.
Tortured.
Imprisoned.
In a Nazi concentration camp.
It's a stark reminder.
Of the depths of human cruelty.
The depravity that war unleashes.
Isabelle's spirit remains unbroken.
Wow.
Even in the face of unimaginable suffering.
She finds ways to resist.
To maintain hope.
To cling to her belief in a better future.
She draws strength from her memories of Vianne.
Right.
Of the cause.
Yeah.
The love for her country.
It's an incredible display of resilience.
It is.
The triumph of the human spirit.
Over the forces of darkness.
And thankfully, that triumph is eventually rewarded.
As the war nears its end, the Allies liberate the concentration camp.
Freeing Isabelle and countless others.
But freedom doesn't erase the scars.
Right.
She returns to a world both familiar and utterly changed.
Paris is celebrating
its liberation.
But Isabelle is haunted by what she's endured.
The losses.
The darkness.
It's a reminder
that the wounds of war don't heal easily.
The trauma lingers.
Can't be light.
Long after the fighting has ceased. And for Isabelle, Those wounds are both physical and emotional.
She's weak, emaciated,
struggling to come to terms with the horrors.
She's also grappling with survivor's guilt.
Right.
Questioning why she was spared.
While so many others perished.
It's a heavy burden to carry.
Made even heavier.
By the news of their father.
Who had finally acknowledged his failings.
And expressed remorse.
But was killed during the liberation of Paris.
It's a tragic loss.
Denying her the chance for reconciliation.
The opportunity to rebuild their fractured relationship.
Another stark reminder of war's enduring impact.
The ripple effects.
Extending far beyond the battlefield.
But amidst all this grief and loss, there's a glimmer of hope, who has endured her own trials.
Is there to welcome her sister home?
Offering unconditional love and support.
It's a powerful moment of reunion.
A testament to the bond between sisters.
The strength they draw from each other.
A reminder that even in the aftermath of devastation,
love can provide solace.
And healing. It's amazing to see how, even after enduring such horrors, their bond remains a source of strength.
It is.
But even with Vianne's support, Isabelle's healing is a long and arduous process.
It is.
She's battling nightmares,
Yeah.
flashbacks, the lingering trauma of her imprisonment.
It's a reminder that recovery doesn't end with liberation.
Right.
The scars of war can be profound.
They can't.
Requiring time.
Patience.
And an unwavering support.
And Vianne provides that support.
Yes.
Offering a safe haven for Isabelle to heal.
But there are still so many layers to their story.
Right.
So many secrets.
Remember that scene when Isabelle learns that Vianne hid 19 Jewish children during the war?
It's a revelation that completely shifts her perspective.
Yeah.
Allowing her to fully appreciate Vianne's quiet heroism.
All those risks she took?
The sacrifices she made.
It's a powerful recognition that courage can take many forms.
It is.
Vianne's resistance wasn't about grand gestures or daring missions.
It was about everyday acts of defiance.
Yeah, that steady commitment to protecting the vulnerable.
Exactly. And that recognition leads to a true reconciliation.
Between the sisters.
They finally understand and appreciate each other's sacrifices.
Yeah, acknowledging the different paths they took to resist oppression.
It's a beautiful testament to the power of empathy.
And forgiveness.
Despite the pain and resentment.
Their love endures.
Offering a path to healing.
And a shared future.
And that future is further complicated by a truth that Vianne has kept hidden.
What's that?
Julian's biological father.
Yeah.
It's not Antoine.
But Captain Beck.
This bombshell shakes Vianne.
It does. It forces her to confront the complexity of her wartime experience.
The guilt and shame.
It's a moment of reckoning.
A reminder that the past can't be erased.
Right. And facing that truth means explaining it to Julian.
Who's now a young man.
Yeah, grappling with his own identity.
It's a difficult conversation.
Full of emotion.
And uncertainty.
But it frees Vianne from the burden of her secrets.
And by sharing her story,
she allows Julian to understand
the complexities of his family's history.
Ultimately strengthening their bond.
It's a testament to honesty and forgiveness.
The ability to confront difficult truths.
And emerge stronger.
But while Vianne and Julian are navigating this new reality,
Isabelle is struggling to find her place.
In a world that's moved on.
She's haunted by her experiences.
In the camp.
The scars are still raw.
The loss of their father weighs heavily on her, too.
The inability to reconcile.
Another reminder that war doesn't offer tidy endings.
The wounds linger.
The losses reverberate.
The past shapes the present.
But amidst the grief and trauma,
there's a glimmer of hope.
Vianne and Isabelle find their way back to each other.
Recognizing the strength and courage.
The sacrifices they both made.
The bond that unites them.
And that bond becomes their salvation.
They lean on each other.
Offering understanding.
Compassion.
A shared sense of purpose.
And then something remarkable happens.
What's that?
Isabelle learns that her wartime exploits have become legendary.
She's known as the Nightingale.
A symbol of resistance.
Courage. And hope.
It's a fitting tribute to her bravery.
Her dedication to freedom.
A reminder that even in the darkest times, individuals can make a difference.
Their actions inspiring others.
Living an enduring legacy.
And this idea of legacy is beautifully illustrated.
In the final scene,
Vianne and Isabelle are invited to a ceremony.
Honoring those who fought in the resistance.
Surrounded by survivors.
For families of those lost.
They realize the true impact of their actions.
It's a moment of profound realization.
A recognition that their choices contributed to something larger than themselves.
They were part of a movement.
That helped liberate France.
To restore freedom and justice. And their story, told in the Nightingale,
serves as a powerful reminder
of the human cost of war,
the resilience of the human spirit.
the enduring power of love and sacrifice.
It challenges us to confront difficult truths,
To honor the sacrifices of those who came before us,
to find our own ways to resist oppression.
and fight for a better world.
It's a story that stays with you long after you finish the last page.
It does.
It makes you think about the choices we make,
When faced with extraordinary circumstance,
the strength we find within ourselves,
the importance of fighting for what we believe in.
even when it feels impossible.
Absolutely. And as we emerge from this deep dive into the Nightingale, I'm left with such admiration for these women.
Yeah.
For all those who resisted oppression during such a dark chapter.
It's a testament to the power of the human spirit.
And a reminder that even in the face of darkness,
Hope and courage can prevail. So as you reflect on this powerful story, think about the quiet heroes in your own life.
the everyday acts of courage and compassion.
And ask yourself,
Yeah.
what kind of nightingale would you be in the face of adversity?